just going to take a look at a little scenario you might come across when you're actually working on a track. And I've got a beat here. I'm going to play it for you. I'm really happy with it, but I'm feeling that this kick is a little bit too bright and grainy for the kind of vibe that I want to go for. Now, I just want to show you something, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in an EQ8 and I'm going to bring it up so we can take a look. Now you can see that the kick drum has obviously a lot of energy on the low frequencies, but also we've got a real abundance of frequencies up here on the high end. So it's bright. What I could do is I could turn on this last band, which is the high cut. So this is a low pass filter. I could bring this down. So we've got the thump, but the only problem is I'm missing that nice, bright, punchy attack. Something about that I really like. So if we were to try and remove the highs by simply filtering them out, that wouldn't give us what we want. We want to get just literally this tail portion really of the kick. I want the front over here on the left hand side to be the same, but then I want just all this to be filtered. So we don't use the EQ. Okay, I'm going to leave it there so that we can see the before and after. What we do is we use the filter combined with an envelope, and this is actually on the simpler device. If you're using another application, then you're going to find a filter envelope available as well. Let me just show you what happens. I'm going to turn this on. So we're going to select the filter envelope here. The settings for it are here. These will only work if we adjust the envelope amount down here. Okay, let me just show you something. Let me first take away the resonance. I don't want that. We're on a 12 dBs per octave slope filter, which is reasonably shallow. It's not going to be too strong. And I'm going to adjust the filter frequency down. We're going to listen again. So we can clearly see the result of the filtering on the spectral analyzer here. But we're getting the same effect that we had with the filter over here, the EQ8. So what I want to do, I'm going to bring this down and just having a listen. Just setting it where I want the filter frequency to end up. So imagine you want to take away those highs. What do you want to hear when you want to take away the highs and the mids as well? I'm feeling something like that. So I said before that we need to engage the actual filter envelope here. We do so by adjusting the envelope amount. I'm going to take it right up to maximum. And the parameter here that we're going to play around with is decay. It's important that your sustain is down at 0. Okay, so that is essentially the sustain frequency. And that means that basically when we're at 0, the frequency is going to be 169 Hertz. Okay, that's where the filter will end up after the decay portion. So decay is how long does it take to take the frequency from the bright frequency down to the low frequency, which is 169 Hertz. So let's have a listen. Can you hear that? Let me take this wider. There's all the noise. Bring it down. Just going to put my headphones on properly. One thing that I'm hearing is a little click at the end. I'm going to take the snap off so it's running for the full length of the waveform there. We could adjust the frequency a bit, maybe fine tune it. Once again, fully open. Something like that feels like it's working nicely. That's what we'd get if it was too short on the decay. So lengthen it out so we get that nice bright front of the sound. I'm just going to try a different slope on the filter. I'm going to take it higher. That feels a little bit too synthesized. Can you hear that? Let's just see how it sounds with a shorter decay. But you see, because of the strength of that slope, it's steeper. It's giving us a more pronounced reduction. You may prefer to have it like that. I tell you what I'm going to do. I do quite like that. I'm going to put it back in and let's have a listen. Now what it's done is it's given more clarity to the other sounds in the actual programming. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the filter so we can compare. So have a listen how it was before. Look at the spectral analyzer as well, and you'll see all of that energy returning. So it sounds kind of messy, doesn't it? Putting the filter back on. So much cleaner. It's going to give a lot more space for other elements in the mix. You know, if the beats are too cluttered, you're going to be running out of space for other elements in your composition. So just to recap, the filter is basically reducing frequencies above 231 hertz, but it's allowing them to come through just at the beginning here, 379 milliseconds. It allows the front of that kick to come through, so this section over here, so it's reasonably bright, and then it warms the rest of this. It filters the decay portion down so we don't get that grainy, scratchy texture that was on the kick before. And this is a better way to do this filtering and removal than an EQ or a static filter. The key to this is the actual envelope.